Hello, everybody. I don't look anything like Romy, so you're gonna have to pretend I'm Romy tonight. This is Iris Doolittle from Nebraska, and Mark and Romy are moving from one rig to another this week, and so Romy asked me if I would run the sizzle tonight. So I want some exciting things from you guys. Anybody have something really fantastic that happened in their business this week? And everybody thinks.
Me?
Yes, Joanne.
Okay, so one of the things that I really kind of set my intention for is networking with other kind of like high achiever network marketers in my area, and I've already gotten a couple of different ones from different companies, and actually that's how I met Jennifer Yates, who's one of my like unicorn rock stars. She's amazing. And this week I enrolled another person from another company just as a customer, and it's just super exciting because it just opens up it opens up her network to all of the oils and stuff. So I'm super excited to start sharing all the oils with all of her people.
That is neat. It's always fun to get another doorway opened. Anybody else? Silence. Well, then I'll just brag on me. I don't think people do that very often, but Romy asked me to talk about Iris's protocol tonight, and we are getting so close to getting my ebook out to the public. It is entitled Essential Oils and Thriving, and it should be up within the hour, maybe, Kenzie, something like that. So I had done a sizzle on my protocol a couple years ago, I think it was, but it has metamorphosized. Is that a word? It's grown into what is now called Iris's protocol. It was started when Lateran was trying some different oils on me at a conference, and we've added a few. So this will be in the ebook, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit so you know a little about how to do it. And then if you want to buy the ebook, I'd love that. It will be, it's outlined there in quite a bit of detail. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. All right. So with Iris's protocol, this has been a labor of love, and in the last 4 or 5 months, I've finally gotten it to where I think I've got everything in it I want. And you start with some virgin coconut oil, about a half a cup, and then you put 3 drops of cinnamon or 4, and 3 or 4 of ylang ylang. That makes the good combination that you're going to use on several types of people. Stroke survivors, I should use a different word, I think, because I'm not going to be compliant. I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. People with brain injuries are getting a lot of help from this protocol. We're trying it on people that have Parkinson's disease. So it's getting out there. So after you get this mixture of cinnamon, ylang ylang, and coconut oil, and put it on the affected side, and my ebook talks about how to do that. Then you're going to layer these oils on top. First, wintergreen. And wintergreen keeps your joints limber. So that will go on the entire arm and leg or wherever the person needs it the most. Then frankincense. Frankincense aids with cellular health and regeneration of cells. And so after the wintergreen, the frankincense goes on. And you know how putting one oil on top of the other creates a new synergy that is even better than just one oil by itself. And then basil. Basil reduces tissue death size, restores antioxidants and motor function, and boosts the immune system. So basil is the third oil that you're putting on. The fourth is aroma touch. It helps calm restless muscles, loosens tightness in muscles, and aids with neuropathy. The fifth is balance. Balance reduces stress, tempers mood swings, and aids with neurological support and calms trauma. The sixth is eucalyptus. It reduces brain fog, muscle fatigue, and pain. The seventh is helichrysum. It improves nerve damage. And this is one that Boyd Truman said I should add. The eighth is lemongrass, another one that Boyd said needs to be there. Lemongrass reduces muscle pain and connective tissue injury, as well as mental fatigue. And then the ninth is copaiba. We have all discovered so many properties of copaiba that are helping in so many ways. So that is the protocol in a nutshell. I go through it a little more in depth in the ebook. Do any of you use these oils in similar ways on their own?
I use lemongrass for mental fatigue. It helps align your brow chakra. And so I use lemongrass before I go to church, and I use lemongrass before I do yoga to kind of open up my brow.
Mm-hmm. And how do you find that working?
Oh, it works fantastically. I mean, I wish that I was a little bit more loosey-goosey with Melissa. But lemongrass is a fine substitute.
Does it help you to take what's coming to you in a more relaxed way?
Yeah, and it also just opens my mind just to kind of accept things on a spiritual level as opposed to closed off, which I had some church trauma over the past couple of years. And so to be able to go into a spiritual area like yoga or like church, it's a little tricky. And so I want to be open to spirituality. And so that's why I use the lemongrass on my forehead. I know things just got really weird. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm a totally normal person.
She is. I've met her this weekend, and she is pretty normal. Or as normal as the rest of us are. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome, Iris.
Anybody else that uses some of these, wintergreen, frankincense, basil, in some of these ways? I can just see the cogs going in all of the.
I use frankincense and copaiba a lot for my son who has like a sensory processing disorder.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really helps with just calming his nervous system, and I put it at the base of his skull and he inhales it and things like that. So I definitely use those a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's great, Joanna. Thank you. Anybody else?
I've used it on the whole protocol on my husband's boss, and it worked great.
Yes. How often are you doing that, Melinda?
He's not doing it anymore, but we were doing it twice a week.
For how long?
We did it for 2 months.
Good. That's great.
He's stubborn.
He was a farmer, as I remember, correct?
Yes.
A stubborn farmer from Nebraska. So that that's a really major thing to get through. And so, great, Melinda. I'm glad that it worked so well. Anyone else?
We use basil here on my kids for growing pains. Mm-hmm. So one of my kids just got a new job, and she came home like 2 days ago. She had to stand for like 3 hours on a cement floor with just her sneakers. And she came home with a lot of sort of lower leg fatigue just from standing there. So we go right to basil. We don't use deep blue anymore for that. We go straight to the basil. And she complained. She's 17, so she complains about the smell. But it works like a charm. Who cares if you smell like a pizza?
That's right. I kind of like smelling like a pizza. I use basil in a diluted form on my ears. I have a lot of ear infections if I don't. So I love basil and smelling like a pizza. Anyone else?
I do frankincense and copaiba for neurological misfiring.
That's great. And how do you know it's working?
As long as I'm consistent, I don't have any misfiring. Consistency is the key, though.
Yes.
And it's done really good. I've been off all of my medications for a few years now for it. So.
That's
and
wonderful.
Then my son's Eustachian's tubes are flat. And so he has chronic ear infections when he doesn't have tubes in due to his allergies. And we use basil and digestin and past tense on his ears to drain for the ear infections.
And does he get ear infections well, not as often, but some still?
As long as if he tells me as soon as his ear starts to hurt and I put the basil and stuff on immediately, it doesn't go any further. But if he waits too long to tell me, then he gets a full-blown ear infection, but we still treat it the same way. Unless he's like screaming constantly in pain, we don't usually take him to the doctor for the ear infections anymore.
Great.
We just do the oils now.
That's wonderful. So with the protocol, that I have several pages talking about the supplements I take daily and the combinations I use in my diffuser. What else was there? Can't remember off the top of my head. So there are several things that you can try for your loved ones that have the same types of problems that I do. The brain fog is a really important thing to take care of. So I love all of the oils in this protocol for that. The antioxidants, those are very important too, to keep my health at a maximum level. So that's my protocol. Love to have you all check out the book. It will be up soon. Do any of you have any good things to talk about?
You want me to shut off the recording now, Iris?
Yes, I think you can. Thank you.